Good morning, grade 7 students. This is Miss Mooney. Today we're going to continue our second chapter in our second book, Ecosystems and Biomes. Please open your books to page 50, Lesson 2, Cycles of Matter. The objectives of the lesson. We are going to explain how are carbon and oxygen recycled in the ecosystems. Also, we are going to identify what is meant by the nitrogen cycle. What is the carbon and the oxygen cycle? Two other substances necessary for life are carbon and oxygen. Carbon is essential building blocks in the bodies of living things. Most organisms use oxygen for their life processes. In ecosystems, the processes by which carbon and oxygen are recycled are linked. Producers, consumers, and decomposers play roles in recycling carbon and oxygen. What is the carbon cycle? Producers take in carbon dioxide gas from the air during photosynthesis. They use carbon from the carbon dioxide to make food molecules. When consumers eat producers, they take in carbon-containing food molecules and break them down to obtain energy, and they release carbon dioxide as waste products. When both producers and consumers die, decomposers break down their remains and return carbon compounds to the soil. Can you guess what is the oxygen cycle? Yes. Like carbon, oxygen cycles throughout the ecosystem. Producers release oxygen as a result of photosynthesis, and it is their waste product. Most organisms take in oxygen from the air or water and use it to carry out their life processes. As human beings, we have an impact on the carbon and the oxygen cycle. Can you guess what activities may lead to the levels of carbon and oxygen in the atmospheres? Humans burn oil and fuel. When they do that, they increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And also, when they cut off trees or burn trees, they are increasing the amount of carbon dioxide and eventually decreasing oxygen, which interrupts the oxygen and the carbon cycles respectively. Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is also a necessary building block in the matter that makes up living things. In the nitrogen cycle, nitrogen moves from the air to the soil, into living things, and then back into the air. Nitrogen fixation. Most organisms can use nitrogen only when it is fixed or combined with other elements. The process of changing free nitrogen into usable form of nitrogen is called nitrogen fixation, and it is mostly performed by certain types of bacteria. Once nitrogen has been fixed, producers can use it to build proteins. Decomposers, in turn, breaks down these complex compounds in animal waste and dead organisms and return simple nitrogen to the soil. Nitrogen can cycle from the soil to producers and then back to consumers many times. As a conclusion, the supply of matter in the ecosystem is limited, so it must be recycled to be able to have raw material necessary for life. To ensure a steady supply, earth water must be recycled. Also, we have two other cycles that are recycled in the ecosystem. Carbon and oxygen also are recycled, and these processes are linked together. In addition, nitrogen is recycled. In the nitrogen cycle, nitrogen moves from the air to the soil, into living things, and then back to the air. As an assignment for next time, please study pages 48 to 53 from the book and copy your notes on the copybook. Homework assessment exercises page 53, and check the slides below to highlight the required information on your books. Thank you.